Hi and welcome to Winners Corner. This Sunday offers us a Grand Slam 75 round, and like last week it is held at Solvalla Racetrack in Stockholm. Last Sunday, Mike, you were correct about your bankers on the Grand Slam 75 system, and you also nailed the daily double. Congratulations.
Thank you. The daily double really worked out well. A lot of bad luck on the other races, unfortunately.
Yeah, so what's your feeling about this round?
Well, it feels good beforehand. I've got a couple of horses that I really believe in, and none of them go off as favorites. So it looks like, if I'm right, we'll get handsomely rewarded.
Okay, we'll start then in the third race of the day. It's over full distance and it's a circular start. And how do you want to play it?
Well, number one, Eli's Surprise with Anders Eriksson is going to be tricky to catch here. The horse starts off as the only one from the frontier, and with a repeat performance of his debut when he won in 16-6 for Björn Recklinger from the outside there, I think he will be very tricky to catch. But he should go off as a clear favorite here, so I want to get the odds up. Number three, Texas Elite offers good value for money on the Quinella, I think, especially with driver Erik Adielsson this time. I'm real excited about that one. Last time the horse was in the lead through the last turn, it looked like nobody was going to be able to beat him, but then over the stretch he looked a bit unfocused, and I think Adielsson is just the right driver for him to get him to focus better this time. In that case, he's got a good chance to be in the top two.
So a Quinella here with horses number one, Eli's Surprise, and number three, Texas Elite, will hopefully be a good start of the day. We move on to the preluding Grand Slam 75 leg. It's in race 5, and here the horses are battling it out over long distance. And Mike, we have a couple of horses, number 3 Showman Brodde and number 9 Titan Brodde, who will probably be the most betted horses in this race. How do you treat them?
Yeah, definitely. They stand out. They are the toughest horses and will be the favorites here. But an outsider that seems to be quite overlooked this time compared to his chances is number 4, Farrell. This one offers good value for money. He's a pretty capable racehorse. He's won here at Solvalla earlier on and races really well without shoes all around. Last 2 races, he's been without shoes up front, and last time he got completely boxed in for Kontio. That means that Kontio knows what the horse can do, and this time he's not going to risk getting locked in. He's going to be aggressive here. I think he's going to go to the outside early on. If they pull all shoes on him, he's definitely a contender here.
Quite a daring win bet there. Nice one, Mike. We move on to race 6, and here we have a sprint race. What do you want to do here?
I want to go for the German guest, Klaus Kern with number 5, Flo G. Very impressive in the debut here in Sweden. Was started off way back from the 11 hole, cleared around the field, was on the outside the last lap, and then just won jogging in 15-3. I must say, I really like the way that horse looked. And from this post here, I think Klaus Kern doesn't risk getting into too much trouble. And as we saw last time, the horse can win from the outside. So just go forward this time, Klaus, as usual.
So from a win bet in race 6, we move on to another win bet in race 8. And this is a race for 3-year-old horses over full distance and with a circular start. And how have you been analyzing this race?
There aren't any horses here that have really impressed me, but number 6, And the Dance is Over, has raced quite well the last 2 races when the horse has managed to win and be at very high odds. The horse seems to thrive in the lead, and that's what I'm basing this bet on here. With the circular system here, I think that Kontio, if he just makes it right in the circle there, has got a great chance to take the lead here. And as I said, it's not the highest class on this race, so I don't think there are any horses who can put up the tempo on the outside. I think that Kontio will be allowed to slow the pace down, and in that case, I think that number 6 has a good chance to clear away.
Number 6, And the Dance is Over, and now it is time for us to focus on the daily double. And as usual, it takes place in races 10 and 11, and DD1 is a race for mares over full distance. Favorite will be number 11, Mike, Barbara L. Hanover with Örjan Kihlström in the bike. How do you treat this equipage?
Well, I think she's a bit vulnerable. She's been a little bit uneven, but and from this very tricky post, and with Örjan Kihlström driving, I think it may be a bit, probably a defensive drive, and at the end it'll be a bit too far to catch number 2, Siegel Dock, who is a much more interesting bet here. Siegel Dock, as all the horses from Hans-Ove Sundberg, is racing really well at the moment, showing good form. Last time the horse was way back through the last turn and then finished extremely fast the last 700 meters for Torben Janssen. Torben Jansson driving once again, I think that's a big plus. And from this excellent post here, I think that Siegel Dock has a better chance than the favorite, and we're getting good value for money.
A banker in DD1. We will see a banker in DD2 as well.
Yes, I'm going to go for a little bit of an outsider here. Number 7 is probably going to be a clear favorite, but number 1, Sloppy Joe, is a favorite horse of mine. I really like this one. Peter Norman's horse is also in great form at the moment. The horse has one race now after a couple of months away. I think we're in for a really good performance.
So, as almost always, Mike gives us here a straight combination for the Daily Double this Sunday. The Grand Slam 75 system is what we are going to discuss. And now we have to find the winners in 7 consecutive races. And the plan is, of course, to bank a couple of reliable horses so that we then can include some high odds in the other races. Checking out your system, Mike, we can see that we've already talked about both of your bankers. Number 6, And the Dance is Over, in the 4th leg, and then in the 6th leg, number 2, Siegel Dock. We haven't, though, at all mentioned the 3rd leg. It's a race for cold-blooded horses. You seem to think it's difficult because you spend most of your marks here.
It is very difficult. I don't know these cold bloods all that well. A couple of them we've seen before on the V75, but most of them are unknown to me. And just reading the race card, it's very tricky to find the winner. I don't see why number 12 is so overlooked. Tricky post, of course, but it means less in the cold bloods. Torben Jansson in the race bike, a big plus, and also a skilled amateur trainer used to the cold bloods.
The 5th leg we haven't talked about either. It's a sprint race for apprentice drivers. What do you want to emphasize about this race?
Pretty even. I think number 6, Reverend Wine, has a good chance with Anders Ericsson. So he actually has 2 good chances to win on the Grand Slam 75 this week.
432 combinations. That is what we have for the Grand Slam 75 system this Sunday. Of course, you find all the information you need about the horses and the competition this Sunday at our website, swedishhorseracing.com. And we wish you, of course, the best of luck with your bets this Sunday. Bye-bye.